I want to take you back to a night that many people in Pakistan will never forget. That's December 27, 2007. The night Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. Within hours, the city of Karachi, usually full of light, noise, and movement, came to a complete standstill. Shops were burning, cars were being set on fire, empty roads, and fear had taken over the city. And people were doing the only sensible thing to do, staying home, staying safe. They locked their doors, waiting for that outside chaos to pass. But something strange happened that day. Something strange inside me that would change me forever. I picked up my phone, started calling my colleagues. Come outside, I'm coming to pick you up. I literally drove through the streets of Karachi that genuinely felt like they'd stopped breathing. Not just empty roads, but smoke in the distance, sirens echoing everywhere. I picked up as many as I could in my car, and we reached office. I went back, picked a few more colleagues, convinced a few more parents, and returned to work. No one had asked me to do this. There was no plan, no instructions. In fact, the senior leadership wasn't even in the country. Just something inside me saying, we must do this, we have clients to serve, and we have work to do. So we turned our office into our temporary home. We arranged beds, brought food, mostly snacks, clothes from colleagues who lived nearby. And for approximately a week, while the city struggled to deal with that outside chaos, inside that office, we kept going. The work did not stop. The team did not stop. And years later, I realized, and something struck, that that day, I was never trying to avoid chaos. I was heading straight into one. And it made me learn one of the most important lessons of my life, that leadership is never born in calm moments. Leadership is born in chaos. And that has been the biggest truth of my life since then. Even from that night and many, many years after that, I never thought much about it. It was just something that happened. A difficult moment, some would say a foolishness of a boy, a chaotic night that turned into a week where we had to adapt. But as I reflect on my journey as a leader, it completely changed the way I understand growth. Because that day, I was not acting like a leader. I was becoming one. You see, leadership is not something that someone hands over to you on a platter. It is a decision. Leadership is a decision that you take in moments when no one's watching. And every time that moment appears, that decision time appears when you need to and you must make a call, it is always disguised as chaos. And what do? We do the complete opposite. We spend our entire lives trying to eliminate chaos because we want predictable lives, predictable businesses, predictable careers. We want everything to go according to plan. But life works in mysterious ways. Life is strange. And no wonder nothing extraordinary has ever come out of comfort. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every leader has been shaped in moments when things have been uncertain, when all the answers are not there, and when the future seems unpredictable. So you realize the power of chaos, and you come and you realize how beautiful it is that chaos actually forces something powerful to happen. It forces you to grow beyond your thoughts. It forces you to grow beyond your horizons. Ask yourself of all the important moments of your life, all those moments that changed you for good, and all those moments that made you stronger. Were they calm? Were they comfortable? No, they were chaotic. And let me be clear, not all chaos is good, of course. There is, of course, the bad chaos, the chaos that harms you, the chaos that destroys, and the chaos that we must safeguard ourselves from. But there's another kind of chaos, the chaos that I'm referring to. The chaos that challenges you and stretches you and pushes you to do that extra bit. Unfortunately, in our attempt to avoid the bad chaos, we accidentally run away from the good one. And this is where most people miss out on the biggest of opportunities, because at the end of the day, every transformation eventually begins with chaos. No matter what you do, this is how it will always be. So how do you know the difference? Which chaos to head straight into and which one to avoid? Bad chaos will always pull you backwards. It will drain you mentally, physically. The biggest sign for me is that it will always alter your beliefs, your values, and your direction. Whereas the good chaos, though it will continue to challenge you and stretch you, it will always push you forward. It will transform you into a better version of yourself. Bad chaos breaks you. Good chaos builds you. It builds leaders. And once a leader, then you're expected all of a sudden to have all the solutions. People assume that leadership is about having all the answers. And that is far from the truth. Yes, leadership is about standing tall. Yes, leadership is about standing in uncertainty and saying, I may not know the path, but I will walk it anyway. So simply, leaders are those who refuse to step away when others are stepping back. I've spent years building units, teams, organizations, mentoring people. And today, the organization I built employs over 1,500 people. None of that growth happened when things were easy. In fact, all milestones we achieved, all obstacles we surpassed, happened when things were uncertain, when problems appeared faster than solutions, when responsibilities weighing heavier than comfort. And those are traumatic times. I kid you not, very, very traumatic. But they're also transformational. Because at the end of the day, chaos will always transform you. It will never ask you what will happen. How will you survive this? It will always ask you, who will you become? During my journey and my course of building organizations, chaos returned quite often. Multiple times in various shapes and forms. People looking for growth, people quitting, seniors looking for direction, the next phase of the organization, clients demanding extra results, competitors trying to pull you down, very, very uncertain times. And every time that happens, you feel that chaos is about to ask you that dreaded question. How will this end up for you? Will you be able to survive this? It never does, but it just feels that way. The beauty is, the good thing is that chaos may scare you the first time, but then onwards it only teaches you. And very soon you realize that it is never a thing to be eliminated. It is something to be embraced. And it takes you out of your comfort zone and propels you to places which you never thought were even possible. The biggest lesson I learned from chaos was not from any business or any business situation. It's from a man named Zishan Rao. Zishan worked as a security guard, sitting outside, watching people come in and go out. And that's how everyone else perceived him too. But when he heard about an institute, Skills 360, a platform where young people are taught technology skills, almost free of cost, he did what most people don't. He stepped into chaos. Just imagine the chaos in his head when a security guard walks into a classroom full of Gen Zs who are far more knowledgeable, a lot more tech savvy, a lot sharper, learning graphic designing. Imagine the chaos in his mind when he's introduced to new softwares and new tools. Most importantly, new doubts. Imagine doubting yourself every day. Have I made the right decision? Do I belong here? Is this something for me? And the worst of all, is this something for someone like me, because you actually put yourself so low? Imagine being introduced to this new world, a new world of computers, a new world of technology, a new world of creative thinking. How intimidating this world must be for him, and how chaotic this must be for him. But he kept going, day after day, lesson after lesson, mistake after mistake, because transformation is never comfortable. It is chaotic. But the beauty is, and the power of chaos is such that this chaos was silently reshaping his future. And today, Zishan works as a graphic designer in one of the top IT companies of the city. And what a beautiful transformation this is, from gatekeeper to creator. We walk past thousands of people every day, thousands of Zishan Raos, drivers, house help, security guards, construction workers, so many people sitting quietly at the edge of our lives. And we assume that the story is already written. But all it takes is one moment of chaos and the courage to step into it. Because chaos does not just create businesses, it creates people. It creates people like Zishan Rao. In the end, I'd just like to conclude by saying that the world has always taught us to avoid chaos. But chaos might be the greatest teacher we have, because it breaks routines, it breaks comfort, it breaks the limits that we place on ourselves. And once those limits are broken, something extraordinary happens. A new version of you appears which you didn't even think was possible. So if you feel that your life is all over the place right now, things are not working out, it is chaotic, I don't get enough for what I do, life is unfair, that's totally awesome. Because it may not necessarily be a sign that your life is unraveling or falling apart. It could be a sign that your life is expanding. Every great leader you admire, every entrepreneur you respect today, every man or woman that has shaped the world and brought some good in this world has met chaos at some point in their lives. And I promise you, more than once. The only difference is that instead of shying away, they headed straight into it. So next time you're faced with a situation, don't complain. Why is this happening to me? Ask yourself a better question. Who is this chaos trying to turn me into? Because chaos does not break leaders. It reveals them. Thank you very much.